Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Today we will be learning how to load a data from one database table to another database table. Okay, so from today's session you will be able to understand like how do we connect our Talend studio to different databases. Like here I'm just giving two examples, Oracle and MySQL. Same way, with some little changes, you can connect to other databases as well from your Talent Studio. Today, we will be learning, I'll be telling you two approaches like a simple transfer, like without any transformations, without any changes in the table's data. I will be transferring data from Oracle table to MySQL table. Later, with some transformations, you can do in tMap, that we can do and transfer from one database to other database with some conditions or with some transformations. Okay, so quickly let's start it. First is we will be need to connect to the database. Like you need to establish the connection. Whenever you create a job, the best practices you need to follow. So for that, first you need to open the connection. So you will be aware of like pre-job, post-job. Okay. So pre-job is nothing but whichever components are connected to the pre-job, it will be starting first, as you are aware. So first I'm trying to open the database connection of Oracle. Then once this is successfully established, I am trying to open the connection of MySQL. Okay. So how to connect to different databases? I will be doing one more video on it. Okay. So in clearly giving you the details on how to connect, like what settings you need to take from the database to your Talent Studio. So overall, as an overview, you can see some settings I have done here. Okay. So once the connection is successfully established, you need to take a component called tDB input. Okay. So there are two ways. Okay. So here on the left hand side, if you see in the metadata section, we have DB connections. Okay. So I'm trying to here in my job, I'm trying to load a data table, employee table from Oracle database to MySQL database. Okay, so this table you can take from the Oracle. Okay, so in the schemas you have few tables. So if you just drag and drop it, okay, for example, I'm doing it. So here you will be having some options which it shows. So currently I need it as a input component. So I select it. So we will be getting it this. Okay, so here if you see the schema and everything is given and the table name is employees table. Okay, it has few columns. Okay, so when you automatically like drag and drop it, this query will be created automatically. Okay, and from here let's see exactly what is there in that employees table. Okay, so this is our Oracle DB. Okay, SQL developer. So in that I have some information about the employees with employee ID, first name, last name, email. So some details of an employee. Okay. So I want to transfer the same data from Oracle to MySQL. Okay. So what I did first, I took the Oracle DB, tDB input, and then I connected it to tMap. Okay. So in the tMap, we have this settings. So the detailed topic on the tMap, I'll be doing a video for the beginners who have already known about tMap can directly understand it. So for the beginners, I'll be trying to make a video on tMap, like what all options are there and all. So please stay tuned. Now on the left hand side, if you see, these are all the columns in the table, employee table. So it will be having the schema and all for it. Okay. So this key in means it is the primary key. You are aware, right? So in the tables, we will be having a primary key. So these are the database, these are the types. I mean, employee ID is a big decimal, first name is a string, last name is a string. So in this way, we will be having different types. So if you want, you can convert the data types also. So if you think big decimal is not right, you can change it. So This will automatically create a detect. Talend will automatically detect the data types. If you feel anything is not right, you can change it. Okay. On the right hand side, I have taken the same thing. So I just copied everything and pasted it here. Okay. So on the right hand side also the same schema, everything will be same. Okay. For example, if you want to change the pattern in MySQL, you think the pattern is not this, you can change the pattern of the date. Okay. So in this tMap, we will just click OK, and I will be connecting this to the MySQL employees table. So I'll just show you how we can connect. I just right click it. So we have the output name inside the tMap which we have created. So that one you take it and you connect it here. Okay. Now in this you can see the options are there. So this is also the repository. That means I have taken from the database, I mean the DB connections in the metadata section. Okay. So the host, everything comes here. So you need to give the table name. Just for our understanding, I have given a name as employee emp underscore MySQL underscore table. Okay. Now we have different options like what actions you want to take on the table. Currently, I know that table is not present. So first time I'm trying to insert this table, insert the data and the table in the MySQL. So I click create table if does not exist. If you are not sure and if you don't want any rewrite or any duplicates to be happened, you click drop table if exists and create. If the table is present in the database, it will drop it. I mean, it will delete the table, the data, the table, everything, and it will create it again. Currently, I want create table if does not exist, and action I want it as insert. So these are the different options which we take based on our requirement, like in our project or in our jobs, whatever is the requirement. Current requirement for me is I want to insert the data. Okay, clear? So now, so I will be running this one job. Okay, so the settings are clear. So I'll be running this job. I'm taking this and in MySQL employees table. Let me open the MySQL. Okay, so the table name I have given is this one. Okay, okay, I'm just trying to click. We have the table already. Okay, so here what option we will be using? We will be using drop table if exist and create. So what it will do is it will delete the table, okay, and it will create. Or else let's just put create table if exist and let's just drop the table. Okay, okay, see now that table is not present. Okay, so now I will create the table. So I'll take it as create table if does not exist, and then I will insert the data. Okay, let's run the job. Okay, so there are 107 records in the Oracle table. The 107 records have been transferred to it. So it is success. So exit code is 0 means the job is done with success. Okay, so this SSL connections is in the local. If you run any database, you get this error. Okay, it is not an issue. Now let's see if we have. Yes, if you see, we have all the records. So how many records do we have? If you see 107 records. Okay, so you can see the count as well, like how many records we got. You can see 107. So what all table data we had in this, everything came here. Okay, so this is one simple way of loading the data from one table to another table. You can do vice versa also. Just the thing is, it will come here, this will come here. This is done without any transformation. Okay, now let's see this. I will activate this one and I will deactivate this one. I don't want that to run again. Okay, so in this the same way, I have just taken the same table whatever was there on the top, and the out table I am giving a different name. Okay, why I have given it like this, let's see inside the tMap. Okay, so here if you see for example, when we see it here, I want only the department ID people having 50. Okay, here if you see the department ID is 50. So I want all the employee details of a department number 50. Okay, now What we need to do, so for that what we need to do is we need to give a condition here. So do you see here on the top you see enable or disable expression filter? So when I just click it, I get it here. So what I did is, okay, I'll just remove it. I just drag and drop this one. Okay, that is equal to 50. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to put a condition like department ID. If it is 50, I want it to come. And I don't want any null data also. See, if you see here, the department ID has some null, see, has one null value. See here also we have one null. If you see here, we have one null. So those nulls also I don't want. Okay, so for that what I am doing on the left hand side, if you see when we put a condition on the left hand side table, that means from the input only it will stop that condition, satisfying condition records. Okay, so first I am doing department ID not null, and on the right hand side on the target table I am putting if department ID is 50, then I want only those records. Okay, just click OK. Now let's see here the same. So what I did here I have given the table name as emp underscore dept underscore 50, something like that. So here also the same, create table if does not exist, and I will sync the column. So what does that sync column mean is whatever columns or fields are there, the schema whatever is there on the left hand side will be going on the right hand side. Okay, so from Oracle all the schema, all the fields will come to right side, the same we have done here as well. Okay, sync columns. Now let's run the job. So totally we have 107 records, but here if you see we get only 45 records. So what are those 45 records? Now those records are nothing but which have department ID as 50. Okay, let me copy this and okay, select star from EMP department 50. Here if you see only the departments are all IDs 50 only. Okay, got it? So now we get only 50 department ID records. We can do one thing. Okay, in the same condition, what we can do is instead of is equal to, I will put not equal to. So we will get a table where department IDs are not 50. Okay, so I will give the table name as EMP department not 50. Okay, just you can give whichever name, whichever requirement is there. Okay, I'll run the job now. So we have 107 records from that which are not 50 department. Okay, we will get that in this one. Let's see. Okay, do you see? So which are not 50. So we have 10, 80, 30, 100. So all these data we got. Okay, so this is one way of transferring data from one table to another table. So this is very simple transformation which I have done. Okay, you can do upcase, like you can transfer, like you can shift this one and this one, like you can concatenate first name and last name and put a full name. Okay, so these all operations are present in our tMap. Okay, so when I do the tMap video, you will be able to understand it clearly. I will try to explain all the options, available options in the tMap. Okay, and final step in a best practice of Talend best practices, final step will be once your whole job is done, you need to close the connections. Okay, so post job is nothing but once all the sub jobs, so these are called sub jobs or whatever, all the linked jobs, sub jobs, everything is done, you think our job is finished, at the time you need to create a post job and then close the connections. Okay, so this component is nothing but tdb close. Okay, you need to close this Oracle. So this tdb connection one Oracle is this one. So the connection component names will be there, right? So that one you need to select. For MySQL it is tdb connection 2. If you see tdb connection 2, so because of this our process or the performance tuning which will be like not slow. So we can open the connection, we can close the connections once it is done. Okay, so in this way the performance of the Talent Studio will be good, the memory usage or anything. Okay, I hope you liked this video, and I was able to explain you in a clearer way, in a simple way for the beginners. Okay, stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.